Hey, I'm here again. I'm gonna discuss some more philosophy for you. Yeah. Basically, what's going on here is I'm going to discuss some more philosophy of or phenomenology of Edmund Husserl, because what's going on here is I'm going to discuss basically the sections of his ideas one, which discuss his bracketing of the natural attitude, the altering of it. What I'm going to discuss here, I'm going to go through his discussion of how he discusses the natural attitude to be, and how he discusses the natural attitude to actually be here for us, and how he wants to change it. This is going to be a video in a few parts, actually, because I want to discuss the natural attitude, the cogito, and everything that leads up, everything in the idea section, basically from 27 to 32 or something like that, because I want to discuss how excuse me, I want to discuss the basic approach that phenomenology has, which I want to get down more in depth into Husserl's actual characterization of everything, and how he comes to the discussion of the bracketing and the parenthesizing. Basically, what goes on here is, in his ideas, we're talking about he talks about about the world being at hand for us, and then talks about the cogito. Now, what we're talking about here when he's talking about how everything is at hand for us, everything that I'm looking at this camera right now, this is my field of perception, and then everything else is at hand for me, I guess. Let me find the place where it actually discusses it. Okay, here we go. I am conscious of a world endlessly spread out in space, endlessly becoming and having endlessly becoming in time. I am conscious of it. That signifies, above all, that intuitively I find immediately that I experience it by my seeing, touching, hearing, and so forth, and in the different modes of sensuous perception, corporeal, physical things with some spatial distribution or other are simply there for me, on hand, in the literal or the figurative sense, whether or not I am particularly heedful of them or busy with them in my considering. So basically, he's talking about how everything here is, everything beyond. This is my current field of perception right here, right now. I have this field of perception right now, and that's what I'm concerned with. I'm concerned with talking to a gadget right now. I'm concerned with talking to a camera right now. I'm concerned with making sure that this snake doesn't leave my neck. I'm concerned with a lot of certain things, and then everything else is at hand. I can grab onto this railing here, or I can think about it. Everything is on hand, basically. So he's trying to characterize everything between himself and everything around him. He's talking about how he can change his standpoint in space. I can change my standpoint in space and time, and turn my regard to this or that direction, forwards or backwards in time. I can always obtain new perceptions and presentations, more or less clear, more or less rich in content, or else more or less clear images in which I illustrate to myself intuitionally what is possible or likely within the fixed forms of the spatial and temporal world. In my waking consciousness, I find myself in this manner at all times, without ever being able to alter the fact in relation with the world, or remain one and the same, though changing with respect to the composition of its contents. It is continually on hand for me, and I myself am a member of it. Moreover, this world is there for me, not only as a world of mere things, but also with the same immediacy as a world of objects with values, a world of goods, a practical world. Simply find the physical things in front of me furnished not only with merely material determinations, but also with value characteristics. So, immediately physical things stand there as objects of use: the table with its books, the drinking glass with vase, the piano, etc. These value characteristics and practical characteristics are also being constitutively to the objects on hand as objects, regardless of whether or not I turn to such characteristics in the object. Now, naturally, this applies not only to the case of mere physical things, but also in the case of humans and brute animals belonging to my surroundings. They are my friends, or enemies, or servants, or superiors, or strangers, relatives, etc. So he's talking about himself being a part of this. This is the beginning of his characterization of the whole entire world for him. And then the next thing he discusses is the cogito. Mostly because he's trying to characterize thoughts, and he's trying to characterize everything around him, and this is what he's kind of moving toward. And I think it's kind of cool how he discusses how things are on hand for him, even though when he's not enamored with them or anything like that, you know. This is the beginning of an idea of the natural attitude. Now, when I'm talking about the natural attitude, we're talking about looking at things as they appear, as objects. This is the beginning of that characterization. I'm going to come back in a different video and talk about the cogito.